Hiya family, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute, but as I stated probably 8 months ago, I would be purging the information of my experiences and my encounters so that you could potentially glean from them and see what resonates and see what can help you on your spiritual journey. So, as I stated on my other channel, which is called Stand Up in Your Mind Creator, that I would come back and start again adding more videos back to my original main channel at Quietstein. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm going to be actually reading because I had this dream about a few days ago, probably less than a full week, and I wrote it down. So I'm going to be reading so that I can remember exactly what happened in the dream because I was compelled to write it down. I potentially traveled in this dream, in a dream state, traveling. So it was like three different separate encounters in the dream, but all within the same night. Three specific things happen. So bear with me. That's what we're going to be talking about. And I'm going to be sharing here. And if I need to do a part two, then I'll follow back up with a part two to elaborate more on the dreams. But yeah, let's get into it. But let's listen and you see what resonates with you. And like I say, depending on time, I'm just going to talk about the dreams and see where we end up with time. And if I need to do a follow-up to elaborate more, I will do so. But let me read. I need my glasses. Okay. So, buckle up. Let's go. So, again, remembering in a dream state or when I was traveling while sleeping here. So, the first part started like this. So, when I remember to see and focus as I was coming to in the dream, because as I state on my other channel, sometimes you could be like in a little haze and a fog when you're going to a dream state, because give me a second. Essentially, when I'm like in a haze and a fog, I didn't prepare intentionally, I didn't intentionally I'm gonna lay here, prepare myself, and I'm going to intentionally go travel. I didn't set my intention to go travel. I just set okay, I'm tired for the day, I'm going to sleep. And so I ended up traveling. That's what happened to me. So when it happens to me that way, it's like I'm coming to, like I'm in a fog and I'm realizing that I need to pay attention. I'm not where I think I am. So that's me explaining. I didn't set my intention to intentionally travel. It's just that I'm waking up in a fog. All right, so let's get to it. I just wanted to say that when they say I didn't, quite see where I was. All right, so that you understand for context sake. Okay. All right, so in the dream state, part one. So when I remember to see and focus on my surroundings, at one point I see a man. He is a white man, perhaps middle age, not too young, not too old, right? I see him sitting and he turns and he looks at me with this look of shock and despair. His eyes were stretched wide, that I'm shocked as to the information that I just received or to that which just transpired, is the look on his face, right? All right. I also have a look of unbelief, as if I can't believe what just happened to me. So I read that wrong. He also has a look of unbelief, as if he cannot believe what just happened to him, right? Now with these two looks from my perspective of what he looks like to me, with this look on his face, this look also reminds me of the look of a psychopath. All right? So let me pause for a second. So the first part of the dream is, like I say, I travel, and as I'm coming to, I see this person. They're sitting in a distance, like they're sitting down, and they're sitting there like, and honestly, I cannot imitate, even when looking at, the camera now, I still can't fully imitate his eyes because they were a look of shock and unbelief. And then it had that, within that shock and that unbelief, you can still see like you were dealing with a person that was somewhat deranged or a psychopath. Seriously, it was like, just look up. I'm going to try to imitate it. It's like, and even at doing that, I can't. It's like, it was just look like, I can't believe. And then this, it's like a shock and a despair at the same time. But then it was like this stare of sinister. I can't emulate it. But that's what it was. If you know what that looks like. It's like his eyes were stretched, and it was like a mixture of, he's shocked of what I said to him or what just transpired within the dream. Because as I was coming to, it's like all these events I'm about to explain, this being the first one, it gave me the understanding that I am the observer and I'm also the participator at the same time. Like I'm there, the one in action doing this stuff, but I'm also kind of at the same time receiving the information in the dream state as the observer. But I know it's me that's doing things, but I'm in an observer state, if that makes sense. But that's how I understood it. It was me participating while being the observer. All right, so that was the first part. And again, I'll elaborate later on that one. I just want to go ahead and get them all read and get it out. All right, so part 2, like it took me, I come to, I'm in a dream, something had just happened, and then the person who it happened to, like the information that I gave him. So essentially, I'll go ahead and break this one down now. The first part, this guy came on to me. I told him no for whatever he offered and positioned me with, and he was shocked to receive my no. Elaborate more on that later. All right. Second part. Then the scene changed, and now I was observing a man standing before me. Again, he was a white man, just slightly older than the first man I saw. So the first man, again, he was like middle-aged. This man, you can clearly see he was older than middle-aged because he had like all white silver hair. Okay? All right. And okay. This man, from the remembrance and the feel in the dream state, had approached me with an offer or a proposal of marriage. Stay with me. He had a ring in his hand. I remember the ring being black with silver etchings or designs going around the ring. All right. I did not accept this offer or proposal of marriage. I remember a strong no. This man too had a look of unbelief on his face once he saw and understood that I would not accept this offer and he would not be marrying me. Okay. Then Okay, so let me stop right there. Yeah, because that was that. So, because I was just about going to the third one. Yeah. So, now to explain that one as best I could, and then I'll tie them all three together at the end. So, from what I understood in the dream, the inscribed ring, which what he wanted to put on my finger, from the understanding in the dream, it was meant to be like with the etchings on it. It was meant to be like a talisman. So it was this black ring. Today you'll see them as the rings that people wear now, like the flat rings as their wedding band rings. But this one was one of those common flat wedding band rings, and it was black, and it had silver etchings in it to signify someone inscribing something in it. But it was meant to be a talisman put on my finger in hopes of marriage, in order to control me and lock me into a contract and possess my power that way. Okay. Stay with me now. All right. So now we go to the third part of the dream travel. All right. So then after that happened, I told the second man who offered me something, the second no. Now we go to the third. Okay. So then the scene changed again. This time, and all other times, I felt I was the observer and the participator. Like I said, all right? I was observing a battle, a fight. And in this fight, I stood as the observer and the participator. I knew of a certainty that I was battling two men. But, okay, both of them were white men. Okay. I remember being in some sort of courtyard corridor with a door down to the end of it. So it's like this courtyard corridor. Let me see if I can explain. So I'm in a courtyard corridor, and it's like there's greenery here, and you can see columns here. But at the end, like the way I'm pointing there, you would see like a door, which you could come in and exit out at the end, right? All right. So let me keep telling. Okay. Down to the end of it. Okay, in the dream, it felt as if I met these two men there, and then things took a turn for the worse, and I had to fight or battle them. Right, so I'll pause right there. So in the dream, it gave me the meaning that we planned to meet specifically at that place. Like they called me there, and I met them at where they said, let's go meet. And we talked, and it didn't go right because, again, I turned down their proposal and said no. All right? All right. So one of the men was shorter than the other man. All right? And he wore all white, and he was at least half of the height of the other man. So two men, both white, one of them short, and one of them extremely more taller than the other man, because it was like as tall as the one man was, the other man was probably about half his height, like probably reached him full standing about here. Yeah. Like I said, if I'm the other man was about here. All right. Okay. So, one moment here. Okay. All right. Okay. So, Did I say? Okay. I had to fight them. One of the men was shorter than the other one. All right. He wore all white and he was at least half the height of the other man. Okay. And the other man had on, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let me see what I wrote first. All right. All right. One moment. Sorry about that. I fought that man and killed him. Yeah. I'm going to say that again. In the dream state, where I traveled and where I was the observer and also the participator, I had to fight that short man in all white. And per the dream, I killed him. All right. Then I had to fight the second man, the taller one. All right. I ended up stabbing him in his midsection and he fell to the ground. I did not kill him. After I saw that he had been badly injured, I badly injured him. I just stood there again as the observer. I watched as this man touch his wound and see that he was badly injured. He then looked and saw that the man that he came with him was now indeed dead. So he turned and crawled away. At first, he could barely move, turning and grabbing the grass as to pull him. Let me just read and then I'll describe it. Okay, let me go back. Sorry about that. I watched as this man touched his wound and see that he was badly injured. He then looked and saw that the man that he came with him was now indeed dead. So he turned and crawled and grabbed the grass as to help him crawl away from me, right? After a few paces of crawling, he then gathered the strength to get up and limp to the door. At the end of the corridor, like once he had made it to the door, I saw that he was turning the knob to exit out. All right. And then so now I'm going to pause right there. And I'm going to go back and explain the scene so you can kind of see what I'm saying. So, to back it up just a tad. All right. So, this is the third jump that I took into the dream state. So, again, I'm in a corridor. And there are two men that I'm fighting. They're both white. One of them is half size. And the other, they're about the heights like this. The one of them that's short, this one, they wore all white. The other one was taller. He wore black. He had on like a black suit with a tie. Both of them had on suits, but this one he just had on an all white suit, and this one had on a black suit. Probably similar, like say he got like a white shirt, black suit, black tie, and this one particularly had a black top hat. Okay? So a black top hat. Right? Something like a magician's top hat, or a top hat from like the 1800s top hat, but a black top hat, so that you understand, right? Or what you know the voodoo man to wear that tall black top hat. He had on one of those. All right. Okay, now, where was I? Right, so these two men, one wearing white, one short, one wearing black, tall top hat. My memory serves me right. The one that was in the all white, he didn't wear a top hat. but the one in the black did. All right. So I fought, killed the one in the white, all white, and he's just laying there on the ground, and you can clearly see he's stiff like this, like dead, like not moving, like stuck in whatever position when I whipped his ass and killed him. He's just like, dead, still. And you know that for sure in the dream, that he's dead. And then so the dream progressed. It went so fast. It didn't show me the fight scenes. It just showed me like something quick, like a quick movement, like it went so fast. It was like speed of light fast. And I didn't even know, like I couldn't even tell you, like he moved and then I moved. It was just like just like that. Like we both like moved at each other with that speed of light fastness. And it's like, as we both like did that to fight, then the dream went and I saw that I mortally wounded him. I stabbed shit out of his ass. Sure did. And then he fell to the ground. And then I could see that he's on the ground and he's like this. He's like touching his wound like, oh shit, you know, she got me. And stabbed him, right? And then so then you see that this person, like he turns over like military style, and then he starts grabbing the grass because he's like so mortally wounded, and he's like grabbing the grass like this to like help him pull and crawl away from me. He's doing this, but like grabbing the grass, getting away from me, right? And then so me being who I was in the dream, I knew I had the opportunity to go ahead and just like kill him. So, but I didn't. Full disclosure. Even in the dream, I didn't. I saw that he was down. I saw that I mortally wounded him. I could have finished him off, but I didn't. I just stood there and I watched him like crawl away from me like this, grabbing on the grass to pull his strength. And as he got forth with a few paces away from me, then I saw that he like muscled up the strength to get up and walk away. So he's doing like this. And like I say, it's a corridor door. At the end of the corridor, there's a door. So he's doing like this, and he like limped in himself, and he made it to the door. And then I see that he turns the door, he opens the door, and he gets out and he exits the door, right? He exits himself out. All right. Okay, so those are the 3 no's. Yes, now that I'm paying attention to the dream state, 3 times within the same night, 3 different travels, dream states, I had to say no to the offers that were presented to me. I had to say no to these men coming up giving me these offers. So now let me help you understand why this is relevant. This is relevant because 2 times. So the first man on the first part of the dream, he didn't wear a top hat, but he made an offer, and I said no. Remember I told you one was sitting there like this, like, I can't believe she just told me no. What am I going to do? Like this psychopath look in his eye, like, I can't believe you said no to me. So that was the first no, the first offer. Contractual offers brought to me. I said no. So first no of the night, no. Second no. This person had the older man. First person was like a middle-aged man. Second person, a little older than that person, came. Wanted to give me the ring, the talisman ring, to have me marry them, bind me, be able to control me and my powers and my gifts contractually. So all of them were 3 contracts if we are not keeping up. 3 offers, 3 contracts. Now, Before I get to, yeah. The second one had the older gentleman was also too, wearing a black suit with a tie, white shirt, top hat. All right. So one first, I don't remember if he was sitting there wearing all white. He could have been. I believe he was. Could have been. Sitting down. First person, psychopathic looking. I think he was sitting down. He was wearing all white. Told him no. Second older gentleman came wearing all black, had a top hat. Asked me to marry. I said no. Okay, third. Third scene is like, it could have been, you would think, I'm going to say this. You would think that it's the same two that I just talked about. Could have been from me telling a story, but I'm certain it wasn't. So keep up. All right. So the third time, it was a different man, because the second man with the top hat, this different one, was a slightly younger version. Now you saying version because you know they shapeshift and they're able to change themselves to different ages and still be the same person. But trust me with my intuition that this was a different one. Okay? Even though he was younger, he too had on a black suit, tie, top hat. And the other one next to him was white. White suit. But yes, white as well. No top hat. I wanted to explain that because, like I said, you would think it was those two came together to fight me. It seems like that, but per my intuition in the dreams, these were two other, coincidentally, people. Mofos. So, I potentially, so again, the third offer. They came to me the third time. And within that third time, those two coming to meet me, trying to, say, you need to join us. You need to do something. And it's like, I told them no. They wanted to fight me. So that's why I say it could seem like, the first one in the white, he didn't like to know. The second one in the black didn't like to know. So they both came together to meet with me and wanted to fight me. Yes, I know it's coincidental and that does look like that. But what I'm telling you, it was 4 of them. This one came, said no. This one came, said no. These two came together. And these two got feisty and wanted to fight me. All right? So I killed the little one and badly wounded the other one. So I saw 4 within one night. Okay? All right. So now to back it up to help you understand even more. Now, the top hat. What is happening is this is to signify when you're dreaming or in a dream state, you're also traveling as well to different realms and dimensions. And it's spiritual warfare. So the top hat signifies power and authority. Yes. Power and authority. You could also say, you could think magician, but it's like to, elevate you to understand that this is spiritual warfare. So you need to think of, the best thing I can tell you is from the Bible. So you need to think, let me see. You wrestle not you wrestle with principalities, powers, thrones, dominions, spiritual wickedness and darkness in heavenly realms. So the top hat represents that. These were beings of power, of authority in the spiritual realm. Dominions, thrones, powers, principalities. I'm fighting against principalities, powers, thrones, dominions, spiritual wickedness, darkness in heaven, high heavenly places. Coming with their power and authority, trying to assert their will on me in the dream state, and I'm saying no. And then two of them I had to fight. One of them I ended up, killing. Yeah, because he was there done for. But again, I told you that one, he didn't have on a top hat now. He was literally like on the ground. So if you want to say about immortality, or you can't, I'm telling you my dream. Analyze it as you will. But that fool was dead. Okay? Again, different dimension. Different rules in that dimension. Powers and authority. And I'm boldly telling you, I have spiritual rank. And it went up. And I got power and authority too. For sure. All right. So, yeah. So, now here's the inside message that you need to glean from. As you learn to love yourself and you begin to align and position yourself with your true higher soul, you're going to start to get knowledge and you're going to elevate in your spiritual rank. And when that happens, you're going to be the ones who seemingly thought that they had control over you, or they have been your angels and your guides and leading you. They're going to come back when they see that she's now vibrating at a higher frequency and she's leveling up. They have to come and try to see what they can do to get you back under their control, or to get you back to thinking in such a way to keep you in that cycle, to keep you kind of in a lower vibration than what you have now elevated to. So one approached me, told him no. Another one approached me, tried to get me into a contract with the top hat. Principalities, powers, dominions. In the top hat, a person of power and authority came to me trying to offer me an offer of marriage. I said no. He too looking shocked like, you turned me down? What? Seriously. What? Shocked. All right. Okay, then two came together. Another one, and these two got so mad with my no, they wanted to fight me. One I slain, right? The other one I just mortally wounded. And he crawled out of there with his life and left. Again, as he was walking to the corridor to go through that door, I paid attention. He had on the top hat, power and authority. And I had to say no. So within one night, I had to get 3 no's. But now here's the kicker. Let me tell you the last part of the dream. All right. Gotta wear my glasses. One moment. So after that battle, and the other one walked out the corridor and left, okay? Closed the door behind him and left. I woke up. And then I was up for a little minute. Then I went back to sleep. And then I was in what seemed to be as a long hallway or corridor. I could hear voices speaking to me. These voices were trying to influence me to go in the door to the left, which supposedly had light behind it. Okay? I looked to the left at the door. Then there were voices calling to me as to warn me not to go through that door, but to choose the door on the right. As I reached for the knob of the door on the right, I turned it and opened it, right? Reach for a knob, turn to open it. Sorry, I lost my place. Just at, I turned and opened it just a tad. And I saw that there was darkness behind this door. All right. And then I responded by saying, oh, there's darkness behind this door. Although I am not afraid of the dark, I will not choose either of these doors. I will create my own door. And at that moment, I then imagined a door appearing down the hallway. And I then went to the door that I created and exited the hallway. And in that moment, I too knew and had the understanding that I had just chose wisely. And I leveled up. All right? All right. So those were the 4 dream travels and dream states that I had within one night, about a little less than a week ago. Within this week, or probably last week, but under a week. So a few days ago, right? So again, recapping here so that you can get this. I'm saying it. First, so essentially 4 entities, right? 4 beings. First one wore white, as I guess to signal the light, or angels. I don't know however you want to conceptualize that. Okay, first one white, and so white man, all white, told him no. Second one, white man, black top hat, tried to offer me a ring with a sigil on it, talisman, want to control me, want to marry me. Tell him no. Turn down the second proposal. Turn it down. Third, 2 came together. One wearing white, one wearing black, another top hat. Had to fight them. One had to fight to the death. Slay one in white, and slay, mortally wound the other one. He crawled out of there with his life, top hat. So that's 4, right? Then the next part of the dream, going down a corridor or hallway, and it's giving you the choice. You want to choose this door on the left, where it seems like this is holy, the light's coming from it. You want to choose the door on the right, where it seems like it's evil, there's darkness coming from it. Which will you choose, right? And so I go to this one. I'm being warned, don't, no. And I go to this one, and as I'm about to go in it, and I see the darkness. I'm like, you know what? I'm not afraid of the dark, but I'm going to make my own door, right? And then in my mind's eye, within a dream, I create a door down at the end of the hallway. I open up this door and I go into that door. Now, the part I didn't write down, I created a door and I created it where I'm going to go through this door. It's a door that no man can open and no man can shut. As I'm creating this door, golden lights coming out of this door. I created, I opened that door, I entered into that door and went into that door, closed it behind me. And so once I did that, that's when I understood that, excuse me, confirmation burp. I understood that I had just made the wisest choice to create my own path, to become creator, and to choose for myself. Now, to sum this up, which I see how much time I'm coming on, so I may not have to do a part 2 about this, unless I get questions. All right, so let me see how I'm going to say this. In this life, you're faced with choices. You see things as duality or black and white or up and down, good and evil. But it's higher than that. It's higher than your angels. It's higher than your devils. It's higher than your demons. It's higher than your powers, principalities, thrones, dominions, spiritual darkness, wickedness in high heavenly realms or high places. It's higher than that. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than the low angelic, high angelic. It's bigger than angels. I said angels and demons already. It's bigger than God and the devil. So these are the two that we always get. Left, right, good, evil. You know, you got a choice. Choose one. Choose life, death. Choose. As you become more enlightened on your spiritual walk, you're going to understand or understand that well, one is it's like the yin and the yang again. It's like nothing is all evil and nothing is all good. Like both, you have to have a balance. Like the white has the little dark in it and the black has the little white in it. That's because you have to balance your masculine and your femininity as well as your light and your shadow, or your good and your evil that's inside of you. So you have to balance that because we're all one, right? We're all that circle together, that yin and that yang together, and one cannot exist without the other because they are the whole existence, the whole of the experience is what I'm understanding and coming to revelation and enlightenment. I told you, once you begin to love yourself, because the kingdom of God or heaven, however you want to, say it, is within and not without. And so once you continue to go within, you're going to get these revelations of the truth. You're going to get the revelation of self, right? Like the ego death, you're going to get the revelation of that. And so what that is that we are all connected, right? So I cannot have, I guess the best way to say it, and I'm not saying this to say that bad things must happen to you, or you would know about the good. It's not that type of message. It's just to say that when you learn yourself, You learn good or bad from other people. And then it reflects on you, and you learn more about you and about others in the world, experiencing this world with you. I hope I explained that right. So it's like you wouldn't know what a good relation feel like unless you have a bad relationship. Or to take it a little notch down personally, you would know what a good boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife is unless you have a bad one to make those comparisons. And then I know that's like a little low level, but I'm just trying to keep it at an understanding what everyone can kind of follow along with, because until you get to an enlightened state, this may or may not resonate with you, right? You have to experience it for yourself, which is why I was telling you, give yourself some grace, because everybody is at a different state of their intelligence, where they are in their thought patterns or thought processes, and where they are on their journey. Because we're all not the same age. We all didn't grow up the same places. We all don't have the same life experiences. So everybody will particularly grow or evolve or, spiral up or spiral down in a different time frame or different manner. Some of us take a little longer than others to, get to, a state of consciousness, right? So give yourself some grace. I may be less than somebody on a higher state of consciousness, or someone may be less than me on a higher state of consciousness. We won't know until we know, right? So give yourself some grace and know that you are a part of a whole, but you still are uniquely yourself. So you're going to get there as fast as you here in your mind can conceptualize and understanding what is happening to you, right? So because at the end of the day, this is a mental plane and we're all in our heads. And we are the person that's in our heads within our pineal gland having the experience, right? And so we have to be the ones that are able to shift ourselves, bring ourselves back to remembrance, to realize that it's greater than good or evil. It's greater than light or shadow. Is greater than feminine or masculinity. It's truly greater than that. But the thing also too is the reason why a lot of this is happening is because if you want to take it back to one of the mythical origin stories or beginning stories, say like the story of I could go a lot of ways here, but I see I'm coming up on time, so I'm gonna kind of just go briefly. The story of perhaps Sophia. I think it's the story of Sophia, where she wanted to create something outside of herself and experience that. And so from her creating something outside of herself, it's like, which some people will say that's the story of the Great Mother. But anyways, just to touch on that without going too deep down a rabbit hole with that. So bear with me because I'm pulling it back a little bit intentionally. So it's like, I'll say here, I'm just the Great Mother. And I had created something outside of myself. And I wanted to see myself outside of myself. So me being a Great Mother, I created something outside of myself. And then once I created that thing outside of myself, and now to be able to see myself outside of myself, now that thing that I created outside of myself doesn't know that it came from me. It doesn't recognize me as its mother. It thinks that it is the Almighty, the one true living God. Right? And so it is doing whatever it needs to do to keep people in control. And it's basically running amok, right? And so with it not knowing its true origins, and now that it's re-meeting me, it doesn't know who I am and that it actually came from me. So all it knows is that it's different from me. And so with it feeling like, oh, what is this? You're so different. You're not real. You're not, and it's constantly questioning me that I'm not real. And it's constantly questioning you, that you're not authentic, that you're not the genuine real deal, that no one's this good, no one's this pure, no one's true light. But yet it is claiming to be the Lord God Almighty, the one true living God, the one that came first. And so when it ran up on you, and now see that you are truly from source, and you truly have that source code because you are a product of the Great Mother, right? And then so now it's battling you because it wants you to capitulate. It wants you to convert. It wants you to conform. No, you need to act like all of these other zombies that I created. Why don't you act like the rest of these zombies? So you essentially broke the matrix code. So now it's coming to get you because you're not following along. You're not asleep. I'm trying to keep you asleep. I'm trying to keep you from forgetting. I want to keep you forgetting. I don't want you to remember, right? So it knows that. So that's why you're in this thing, and that's why we're doing all this thing, and that's why I'm sorry I veered off a little bit, but that's what's happening, right? You're realizing that you're awakening to the truth, not the I need to choose left, I need to choose right, I need to choose light, I need to choose shadow. It's like you need to choose a different door. You need to choose yourself. And once you choose yourself and you come back to yourself, you're going to realize you're greater than the two choices that are being presented to you. You're greater than the angels. You're greater than the so-called demon lords. You're greater than that. You're greater than both sides. Because at the end of the day, you can't choosing either one of them and just choosing one side keeps you in a cycle. Because these two have to realize they are one. And they've forgotten that they're one. So they're battling. And that's why there will never be no harmony. There will never be harmony. Because we're constantly choosing sides. And once you choose a side because you think those are the only two choices, we will never have harmony. So, but once you go on your spiritual walk and continue on your journey, which is your life, and you, again, for me, it's not, I don't need drugs. I don't need anything. I didn't need anything to trigger it. Sorry about that. I didn't need anything naturally but loving myself. And once I was under attack, going through those dark nights of the soul, which I'll be telling, and getting more of those experiences out to see if you can glean and if they can help you on your journey. But Remember, choose you. When you choose you, you're choosing wisely. When you choose to love yourself, you're choosing wisely. When you choose to trust yourself, you're choosing wisely. When you choose to believe in yourself, you're choosing wisely. You're not choosing one of these only two sides that's going to keep the whole world separate, because you're choosing a side. Choosing yourself means you're choosing the love for self. And I don't mean self-centeredly or egotistically. You're choosing to be creator. Choose to be creator and create a door. Create your own door. That's not it. You isolate me to one frame of thought. That's not it. You're isolating me to another frame of thought, even though it's out of that. So that's why it's war, right? And that's why it would always be war, because you got light and you got dark wanting to fight each other instead of trying to come together, knowing that they're two halves of a whole. So there will never be harmony. And they're going to always keep trying to force us to choose a side. And this is not the... I know you say, oh, let's coexist. It's greater than that. It's not even that. It's not, oh, she's talking about coexisting. I'm not. I'm sorry. It's not even that. It's greater than that. But I don't even have the words to articulate it to get you to understand. It's much greater than that. It's not simply we need to all coexist. It's greater than that. So you have to have a true spiritual awakening to be able to understand it. You're gonna, it's at such a high of a level of love. I don't know how else to it's just like a enlightenment. It's a enlightenment. And then let me see what else. So here's the thing. When you listen to me, I'm going to tell you love yourself. And when you listen to me, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be my natural self. I'm going to come. Some days I may be cursing and I may be talking shit. Because you got to remember, I'm in the world, but consciously trying to continue to hold a frame that I'm not of it. So there will be good days, there'll be bad days, there'll be days where we all oscillate up and down. But once you get the understanding that I have the enlightenment of the evolution, because we all must evolve. If we don't evolve, then we're never going to ascend. There will be no ascended masters. We are ascending, elevating, raising our frequency, going up to be the ascended master. But if you don't ascend, then there won't be any more ascended masters. So you must ascend. And with that, you have to come to the understanding that at the end of the day, you got to choose you. You can't choose these opposing sides that are at war, and that's going to keep us at war. And this is not, it's greater than Kumbaya. It's greater than the coexistence sticker. It's great. It's a whole new everything.